If you teleported to the surface of Venus right now, you wouldn't just die. You would be simultaneously crushed by the weight of an ocean, melted like lead, and dissolved by acid, all in less than 5 minutes. Look at Venus. From Earth, it is the brightest and most beautiful object in the night sky. The ancient Romans even named it after the goddess of love and beauty. But that beauty is a lie. Beneath those thick, glowing clouds lies a world so violent, so extreme, that it makes the harshest deserts on Earth look like a luxury resort. Today, we are taking a hypothetical journey. We are going to drop you onto the surface of Venus. Your goal? Survive for just 5 minutes. Spoiler alert, you won't. Let's start the clock and see exactly what happens to your body minute by minute, and why space agencies are suddenly obsessed with this dead world again. Before you even reach the ground, you have a massive problem. The clouds on Venus are not made of water. They are made of concentrated sulfuric acid. If you do not have a specialized suit, these clouds will immediately start eating through your clothes and your skin. But wait, it gets worse. You are falling through hurricane-force winds that spin around the planet at 300 kilometers per hour. NASA is building a probe called Da Vinci. Sometime in the early 2030s, the space agency will drop this probe through these exact clouds to sniff the gases. Engineers are working right now to build a titanium shield so their robot doesn't melt before it hits the ground. If a billion-dollar robot struggles to survive, you don't stand a chance. Congratulations, you made it to the surface, but you suddenly feel very, very heavy. The atmosphere on Venus is incredibly thick. It is mostly carbon dioxide. Standing on the surface of Venus feels exactly like standing 900 meters, nearly a kilometer, underwater on Earth. The pressure is 90 times greater than on Earth. Your lungs cannot expand to take a breath. Your eardrums burst instantly. Even heavily armored Soviet probes from the 1970s, which were built like military tanks, were crushed by this pressure in less than 2 hours. Quick question for you. If you could design a spacesuit to survive this crushing pressure, what material would you use? Titanium? Graphene? Drop your crazy engineering ideas in the comments below. I will pin the craziest one. Let's pretend you have a magic, indestructible suit that protects you from the acid and the pressure. You are still in deep trouble. Venus suffers from a runaway greenhouse effect. The thick carbon dioxide traps the sun's heat and never lets it go. The average surface temperature is 475 degrees Celsius. That is hot enough to melt lead. Your magic spacesuit is acting like a giant pressure cooker. The heat transfers through the suit, and the water inside your body begins to boil. For decades, scientists thought Venus was a dead, inactive rock. But just recently, in 2023, scientists looking at old radar data discovered that Venus has active volcanoes. Right now, as you watch this video, volcanoes might be erupting on the surface, pushing the temperatures even higher and flooding the plains with fresh lava. You might think that because Venus is closer to the sun than Earth, it would be bright. It is not. The clouds are so thick that only about 2% of the sunlight reaches the ground. It is constantly gloomy, like a deep, dark, rusty red twilight. There are no seasons. There is no day and night cycle like we know it, because one day on Venus lasts longer than its entire year. You are standing in the dark, surrounded by toxic gas, baking in 475 degrees Celsius heat, and carrying the weight of an ocean on your shoulders. You didn't make it. Nobody would. But your sacrifice is a great lesson for humanity. Venus is the ultimate warning for Earth. Billions of years ago, Venus might have had blue oceans, blue skies, and maybe even life. It was just like Earth. But a climate disaster, a runaway greenhouse effect, turned it into the hell we see today. Studying Venus is not just about exploring space. It is about looking into a mirror and seeing what could happen to our own planet if we are not careful. So, spending 5 minutes on Venus is officially the worst vacation idea in the solar system. If you loved this journey into space hell, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and like this video. Now, I want you to do one thing. Tell me in the comments which planet or moon you want.